These two digital product stores on Etsy will blow your mind with their sales growth, and I'm going to show you their best Etsy sellers.
But first,
Hi, I'm Jess. I've built multiple 6 and 7 figure Etsy stores in various niches, getting sales like these and learning the ins and outs of Etsy, Amazon, and more. A wild and crazy event led me to start a totally new life traveling abroad, giving me the unique opportunity to step back, work a lot less, and start sharing all of my Etsy insights with you. So hit that subscribe button, grab a pen and paper, and let's jump in.
hello and welcome back to my channel. I am so excited for today's video. I am going to show you two spreadsheet stores in a little bit of a different format that really just cuts to the chase and shows you exactly what their best sellers are and how much money they are bringing in. So I hope you like it. Please comment below and let me know what you think before this video is over. And let's jump into the first store. So the first store I'm going to review is called Co Products, and this is a really cool store. They actually only have 14 listings and have managed to just nail bestseller status and six-figure sales almost immediately. So, to really dig into their listings, I'm going to go into what is becoming my new favorite product research tool called Everbee. Everbee is an awesome platform for doing product research, seeing what is really selling well, and getting a general idea of how much money they're making. I'm going to do a fuller video on all the different features they offer, but I do have a free link down in the video description below, so feel free to click that link and check them out. It's definitely worth the free trial. So the first thing I'm going to do here is click on Shop Analyzer and type in their shop name. What that's going to do is analyze their listings and tell me which one of their listings are selling the best. So as you can see, it's analyzed 14 listings and it has them ranked by monthly revenue. When you click on the listing details, it gives you lots of great information, including their estimated monthly sales, monthly revenue, total sales, the age of the listing, which is super helpful, and a bunch of other information as well, including down below, you can see the tags that they have. Keep in mind, however, that the estimated monthly revenue goes by their list price. So if they run a lot of sales or change their pricing frequently, this will not be accurate. The easiest way to account for this is when you look at the listing, see if they're using sales prices, and then just adjust your estimate based on the percentage of sale that they're running. So let's take a look at the first bestseller listing that they have listed here. As you can see here, it is selling for $10, and Everbee estimates that it was selling for 20, so we can estimate that it's about half of that in terms of estimated monthly revenue. So that means that this ultimate monthly budget is bringing in approximately $5,900 a month, and that's just on this one listing. Let's see what their second bestseller looks like. So jumping back over to Everbee, I'm going to see what's listed second here, and that brings me to their ultimate paycheck budget, which is also on sale for 50% off. And this listing is actually bringing in a rough estimate of $2,900 a month. So let's check out the next listing and see what that brings in. So the third listing is a slightly newer, slightly updated ultimate budget, ultimate monthly budget spreadsheet, which is also 50% off and also very, very popular. This one actually brings them in $1,980 per month. So we are really starting to add these numbers up here. Let's look at the fourth bestseller, and then we're going to look at their total store stats. So the fourth bestseller here is actually their annual budget spreadsheet, and this one is a little bit more expensive. This one actually sells for $14.95 at the 50% off, so $5 more. And the average monthly revenue this brings in as an estimate is actually $1,943 a month. So this is pretty impressive when you're considering the fact that these are single listings bringing in thousands of dollars a month. Let's see what their actual store makes overall, because that's obviously going to be a much more impressive number when you calculate the fact that they do have 14 listings and we're only talking about the first four so far. So let's look at their Etsy store stats. So Co-Products has a little over 27,000, almost 400 sales with, I said before, 14 listings, which is pretty impressive because that's a very low number of listings to have in a digital product store. And as you can see, most of their listings are relatively similar. Looking at their feedback, going to the very last page to see the date of their earliest feedback, we can see they started getting feedback on June 23rd of 2022. So we have still not even approached the 1 year anniversary of this store. And I actually did a full breakdown video of this store when they were about 6 months old. So these stats are super awesome when compared to how they were doing 6 months ago. And I'm going to put the link to that video at the end of this video so you can check that out when you're done watching this. But keeping all of this in mind, their number of sales with their not even 1 year old timeline with a very conservative average price of $10, that puts their approximate sales for this past first year of business at a minimum of $258,000 a year. That is absolutely mind blowing considering this is such a newbie store. Okay, so before we jump into Etsy store number two, I want to remind you guys that I have an awesome freebie with all of my favorite tools and websites that just help you do everything faster and better when selling on Etsy. It also includes 40 free Etsy listings if you are brand new to Etsy, but check that out. It has tons of great resources just to help you do everything faster and get more sales rolling in on Etsy. So I will put the link down in the video description below so you can check that out. It is totally free. So without further ado, let's check out Etsy store number two. Now this is also a spreadsheet store, but their numbers are totally different. So while we're combing through these listings really briefly here, I want you to keep in mind differences you might notice between these listings and the listings from store number one. So the first thing we need to do, of course, is jump back to our wonderful Everbee and type in their store name so that we can take a look at what their best-selling listings are. Now, this store is called Plan Concept, and I have a video detailing this store in depth I will put at the end as well. But as you can already probably see, they have a lot more listings, and some of their listings include printables in addition to spreadsheets. All of their best sellers, however, are spreadsheets. So let's look at their top seller listing. And I want to point out that Everbee lists this at $43 sales price. However, it's actually a little over $16. So that's about a 60% discount right there. So keeping that in mind, their approximate monthly income on just this one listing is about $1,750 a month. Pretty awesome. Let's take a look at their second bestseller listing here. So this one is cool because it's actually an Ultimate Life Planner printable bundle, and it does have a higher price point than the spreadsheet. So using Everbee's sales estimates with an $18 price point, this printable bestseller listing brings in approximately $1,440 a month all by itself. Okay, let's look at the next one, which is actually another spreadsheet, but it's a to-do list and calendar spreadsheet. So this one is super cool. And with a lower price point of $8, this listing brings in about $700 a month for this seller. But that's not all. We have one more bestseller listing we're going to look at, and this is actually the Excel version of their bestseller listing, which is a budget spreadsheet. The first bestseller was Google Spreadsheets. This one is the same thing but for Excel. So it does not have the bestseller tag, but it is one of their better selling products according to Everbee's sales statistics. So this is back up at that $16 price point, which brings them an approximate $630 a month in revenue on this listing. But what's really impressive is this store's Etsy sales stats and how much they've actually grown since I last did their store review. So, this store has 26,290 sales. And to be somewhat conservative, we went with an average price point of about $10. Considering that this store is also just a little bit more than 1 year old, which we're going to check by looking at their oldest feedback really briefly here. And we can see their feedback is from April 3rd of 2022, so a little over a year. That puts their approximate annual sales at $230,000 a year, which is a huge, huge increase over what their annual sales were just a few months ago when I originally reviewed this store. So that means it's time for you to go check out both of the store reviews that I did on these two stores individually. That really breaks down their tips and SEO strategies and all the good things that they're doing to see sales and especially sales growth that is this impressive. So make sure you go check both of those out. I will put them right here.